Okay. So obviously we are live. I just want to make sure that everything's working accordingly. There's a bit of a delay. I'm not feeling myself speaking. Okay, so we're in. We're in, people. We're in, people. So welcome. I'm Meghan, and you know me from the first show, from the Motley Crew network. And yes, so I've done the show today. We've recorded the show today, and obviously we can't do all the stories that are time sensitive because it goes live on Tuesday. Therefore, there's a process of editing and whatnot. And so therefore I said, there's a lot of news that just doesn't get said. And that's timely too. So I figured maybe on my own. Look at that. By the way, that's my green screen. Yes. So they were supposed to sort of make things a little bit easier for me so that I could have a little bit more mobility, because the microphone that I usually have here is something that goes in and out for whatever reason. So we thought maybe originally we were going to get like a live screen, like an actual board in the back, right? It looks just like this. And then they're like, well, we've got a green screen, we'll send it to you. And maybe that could give you a little bit more mobility. And so when you do watch it next week, you'll see that it hardly accomplishes that, really. What it does is just my nose. My nose is just, see? Anyway, so it fell. It actually fell. You're wondering, how does that happen? Because isn't it held by, you would think it should be held by poles. They didn't send me the poles. They did not. They did not send me the actual poles. What they did was they sent me the green screen. And so I was like, what? And I opened the package right before we back to record. And so I figured, you know what, let me just put it on with some tape. Didn't work. I'll tell you why. Because where I am in the office, there'd been a leak, obviously weather related. And so my husband, they took care of the leak, the people, the professionals took care of the leak. And then the husband decided he was going to patch it up and then paint it. He did not paint it. And so what happens is I'm confined to a certain area because there's a part of the office that is not patched up right. But obviously it's on the side that I'm recording, whatever. And the tape does not stick to plaster. Yeah, imagine that. So because the tape does not stick to plaster, it will not stay. And the moment one corner gets unfastened, the whole thing comes down. Yeah, because he's a bitch. Oh. Did I say that out loud? I mean, he's sorry. He's a challenged individual. He says he's going to do something, and what's interesting and what I love is he starts it, but he does not finish. And therefore, I apologize for using that grotesque expression to describe a man that I am married to. Hopefully he doesn't see it. So I've never said this to his face. This is literally just like, see, you see this? Yeah, that literally just slipped out of my mouth. But let's get to the subject at hand. The subject at hand is that let's get some of the news that we're not getting around the world about animals, right? I think that's something that we'd like to know more about. I apologize for the sniffling. I did not expect that. I'm a little shiny because it's been a while since we recorded. I still have my makeup on. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're not magic. I know. I do not have a makeup person. I do not have a hair person. I do not have a wardrobe person. And so therefore, I get a tan and the makeup's looking a little off. But well, I don't care. It's not like anybody's paying. You know, it's strictly voluntary. Charity is what I call it. I'm a charitable person. You know, you have to be. Anywho, let's share the screen. Nope. That's not it. Let's see. So hopefully we get the correct thing that we want. So this news is out of Vegas from The Independent. I just have to make sure that it shows up correctly. We also don't want to show things that are none of your business. I've got to make sure that the old things is copacetic. Sorry, I'm going to widen the screen. For a minute there, I felt like Cardi B. So, I haven't really planned on it, but yeah, that's a little bit like Cardi B. Oh, there we go. So, that's it. So, can I do this in the background? And no, we can't do that. So we can't get to Zoom. So I'm going to have to superficially widen it. So this is the first time I've done this on this platform. Using Zoom, not StreamYard right now. But this is the story that's been circulating, and hopefully we can all see what's going on. Right? I just want to make sure that it's adequate. Okay. Okay. Does it do that? Why does it do that? Oh, I'm the wrong one. I'm the wrong one. What have I done? What have I done? I've ruined it. I've ruined it all. What am I doing? Where is it? I'm like, why am I not showing up? Stop the show. It's not doing what I want it to do when I want it to. Oh, it's right there. Sorry. Bear with me. All right. That's the least you can do. Yeah? Is to bear with me. Yeah? Okay. What, can't I just click on this? Oh, good. All right, share. Okay, so this story is out of Las Vegas. We are not going to touch anything. We're going to leave everything as is. I'm going to put me up a little bit higher, like so. All right. And we're going to watch the story at hand. Oh. Oh, look at the little dog. It's a little husky. Oh no. Oh, he's getting arrested. Good. Wow. Tiny little husky, yes, he does. He sure does. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? Could you believe that this man had the nerve to just have a husky, a little puppy husky in the back in the heat? Las Vegas is really, really, really hot. And this was, what date was this? What date was this? This was in July 28th, actually, which I'm sure was, it says here, an hour after entering the casino, the man came out. An hour at 1:15, like the hottest time of the day, one of the hottest times of the day, yeah? 1:15, and then by 3 o'clock, that's when the heat has been trapped and it's super concentrated. So the puppy's alive, it's doing well, but as she was saying, it was salivating. Did you see the poor little husky? It was adorable. So that happened in, I thought it was Las Vegas. Why did I think it was Las Vegas? Oh, it says Las Vegas police. The man is from California. So the Siberian husky. Beautiful dog. So he was arrested around 3:20 p.m. Unbelievable. So he's from California. He parked his car at 1:15 and he came out around 3:20. So that dog was in there for at least 2.5 hours almost. That's just egregious, really. That's nasty. Who does that? Who does that? So, sorry. Those are the stories that I think are important for us to actually, and this is more of a relaxed atmosphere. I'm not so like, I'm not so strict about everything. I'm still wearing the makeup that I was wearing before, yeah, but I'm not, like, it's not a thing, you know what I mean? We're just a bit more relaxed here for this show. I'm not sure what's going on with my eye. It's like it's blurred. It's not, I thought it was my eyeglasses, but anyway. Yeah, so we could just sort of relax and just sort of, I can. Do you know what I mean? I can. So this is something that I'm passionate about. And that's the welfare of animals, all sorts of animals. I love, love, love animals, and I always have. And I have a particular relationship with them, really. They understand me. I understand them. I can understand everything they're saying. And that husky was like, oh my gosh, thank you for coming to my rescue. But where's Daddy? And that's the thing about pets, right? They love you no matter what. As much as that husky was suffering, yeah, he's still like, where's Daddy? I'm waiting for Daddy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That just broke my heart. Really, really, really did. Broke my heart. But it was just egregious. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things I'm trying to figure out is that Why is my video really, really looking? It looks normal when I'm looking at you now, but it doesn't come out as, it's like washed out. And my face is weird. It's just odd. Anyway, I'd like to fix it. See if there's any way of fixing that too. So that was one story, thank goodness. I thought it was very important for us to you know what, I'm going to lower the light. So I wonder if that's going to make a difference. It's so damn freaking washed out. Right. Let's see. No, I'm going to hear myself. I'm just watching myself. It looks a little better, I think. I like it better. This is more, it's night time. It's like, yay. Right, so now let's get to the next story. Hopefully what we're going to do is that we're going to cut them in bits so you guys can look at the stories individually, obviously, if there's time. Not because you don't have to go through everything. It's important. Oh, here's one. Here is one. Here is one crazy story from Pennsylvania. Are we surprised? So apparently, this is from Penn Live Patriot News. Pennsylvania man was hired to babysit, facing animal sex charges after allegedly being caught on hidden camera. Could you imagine? You hire somebody, or maybe it's just a friend or family member, to babysit. Let's see who he is. So police say that this week they're charging Pennsylvania man after they alleged that he was caught on camera having sex with a dog while he was supposed to be babysitting a child at home in Minersville. Andrew Langley from Wilkes-Barre, Barre, B-A-R-R-E, has been charged with cruelty to animals and sexual intercourse with an animal. Police said they responded to a disturbing call from the homeowner on June 23rd. Wow. They alleged that a camera in the living room that Langley was unaware of caught him having sex with the dog. And so apparently they said that Langley had a distressed look on his face and told them, I don't know what I was doing, when they spoke with him about the allegations. Ooh. And then they say Harold Handedy of Genesee, Pennsylvania, was reportedly charged with criminal attempt to have sexual intercourse with an animal and animal cruelty after police there said the 66-year-old tried to have sex with a cat on July 14th at a location on Dogtown. That's another story of another person having a sexual thing, committing sexual battery on an animal. A cat, a dog. Anyway, it's all bad, no matter how you slice it, right? So that's one story. And then let's say, this is an interesting one. This one is from Monrovia. And it's from Eyewitness News out in Los Angeles, California. So let's play the footage, shall we? So I'm going to share the screen here. Let's see what's up. All right. So well, it says here Monrovia, California. I think it was Moldova. We were talking about Eastern Europe. All right, Monrovia, California. Same thing. That's not the same thing. If there's a commercial. Anyway, a couple's dog caused quite a scene Friday when it chased a dumpster diving bear. Oh, let's see this one. What? Oh my God. She's like, get away, Tucker. Well, look at Tucker in the back. Oh my God, that is a huge bear. Wait, let's see that bear. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is a huge bear. Woo! Thank goodness for Tucker. He's still alive. He's doing well. Let's see if the bear was arrested. Oh, wow. So, yeah, I was in Los Angeles. Well, it's called Monrovia. So, outside in California. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Is there anything interesting? Let's see. Oh, let's look at this one. NBC News had some interesting tidbits on pandas, no extinction. So they're saying how it's a really cute video here about how they use facial recognition to track and protect pandas. I think that's interesting. Let's see. Share this thing. Let's look at that. All right, so sorry about the commercial. Michelob, not advocating. I don't think that beer. This is a Today Show. Look at that. Anna Guthrie, Hoda. I don't know who the others are. So I don't know any rights, but I've understood that this is like fair use, right? So. Beautiful. Wow. They are adorable. Look at them. Oh, wow. Hmm. Lovely. Baby, hate you. So how do you tell them apart? I'm sure they all have slight differences. I'm sure. Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. Right. But it's all in the eyes, isn't it? Mm. Oh, it's so sweet. Okay. Ah, okay, so that's nice. I really appreciate that. Um, so I can understand why AI is being used in that instance, but you know what? Huh, don't let me get started about facial recognition. I really think that facial recognition is something that is really, I don't know, sort of entering into the conversation as far as, yeah, it's great for crime, it's great for identifying missing people, that sort of thing. But you've got deep fake, right? You've got really good ones. One of the ones that I've noticed, have you guys seen the ones with on TikTok? There's the one with Tom Cruise, looks just like him. And there's the one with Keanu Reeves. Oh my God. And you can distinguish them apart from the real person. So now all I'm thinking is, what's next? So if one of them commits a crime, right? Tom Cruise or Keanu Reeves, the real ones. So let's say fake Tom Cruise, fake Keanu Reeves commits a crime. Guess what happens? Real Tom Cruise and real Keanu Reeves are going to have to prove their own identity. That's what happens. You're going to have to anchor your own identity, you know? You're going to have to make sure people know that you are who you are and that you were where you said you were. And then what's going to happen? Then what's going to happen is that you're going to have to really be your own big brother, because it will no longer be the job of, you know, outside agencies making sure that CCTVs work and all that. No, it's going to be up to you. It's going to be your job to surveil your own self. That's what we're going with that. That's my little 2 cents. I really think that's what's going on. Seriously. For now we're talking about pandas. But I think there's a broader conversation there, obviously, because I just had it. All right, now let's talk about something else that has gone on. I think there's something that I want to talk about. Okay, here's something that's important. How to keep your pet hydrated. right? I think that's especially when it's really, really hot. So I think I just want to go through these little points with all of you, just so that we can make sure that everybody's pets are very well taken care of during these heat waves, because that's, you know, it's horrible when it's bad, right? So let's just go through some of the points. So this is from On Focus. And here, it's a little bit of advertisement here. Just put this up right in there. Yes. So one of the signs of dehydration, your pet might be dehydrated. You see symptoms such as loss of appetite, panting, dry nose, loss of elasticity in your pet's skin. So if their skin doesn't return to its original position after you pulled on it, they could be dehydrated or really, really old. Loss of moisture in the gums, dry and covered in sticky pasty saliva, and sunken eyes. So what to do? So you evaluate the situation, and if you think your pet is slightly dehydrated, give your pet some water or pieces of ice every few minutes. And they also say to resist the temptation to give them too much water all at once, since this could cause them to vomit. So, and possibly make the dehydration even worse. You don't want that either. So if you suspect that your pet is like severely dehydrated, you should probably go to your vet or an animal hospital immediately. All right. And it says here, dogs and cats do sweat, sort of. So it says, yes, cats sweat. However, they sweat through their paw pads. I didn't know that. Did you know that? This is not due enough to cool off their entire body. As for dogs, they have two kinds of sweat glands. One is set on their paw pads, and the other can be found through the glands that release pheromones. So they don't really help regulate body temperature. So it's not like it could be like, oh, but they sweat, and that means it evaporates and it'll cool them off. No. It's not in the right places so that they can actually reap the benefits of sweating, right? Right. So more than anything, you know what? You have to give more water. You know, since sweating is not really an option for cooling off. There's also spraying. You can spray your pet with cool or lukewarm water. That really helps lowering the body temperature really quickly. So having these little pools also, little dog pools, or letting them swim in the pool that you may have, or like I said, the little dog pool, or you can go into the lake. That's something that they can do. So they do have pet life jackets to help them stay afloat. So for the dogs that do not know how to swim, there are dogs that are afraid of the water. So this might be the first time. You don't want to put them in the water for the first time and expect them to be like, oh, their instincts should kick in. Not all dogs. Some drown. Some just go, oh, I don't know this feeling. I don't understand it. And they drowned. Okay? So a life jacket, please. All right? And of course, it's not heat, it's the humidity. Your pet doesn't care. It doesn't care. They're hot, they're hot. Okay? Oh, now that we've got that out of the way, I think, let's see if there are any other stories that we could talk about. That was not covered in the first show. I will say that a lot of dogs have been going back to shelters that were adopted even before the pandemic. I know you've heard that some cats and dogs, in fact, were going back after people had gone back to work. You know, they'd adopted, rescued them during the pandemic, and then they went back to work and couldn't care for them, or they felt overwhelmed, and then they put them back in the shelters. Well, it turns out that even the ones that had them before the pandemic, people have had them for a long time have given up their precious pets because the economy isn't doing really well. I know you've heard from certain people, I'm not going to say who, of there isn't a recession, but if we are to judge by the pets that are going back to shelters and the reasons why, these are pets that were in loving homes for years, and their pet parents have had to give them up. Why? Because they can't afford to feed them, and it just kills them to have to do that. They've either had to move somewhere smaller or somewhere that didn't accept pets, and so they had to make a decision, a very hard decision, to give up their pet. I don't think the people that have had pets that long would make a decision willy-nilly. I mean, especially if they kept the pet during the pandemic, do you know what I'm saying? So obviously things are rough for some people. And I know, it's like, it's so contradictory, isn't it? You hear that there are all these jobs available, and then pets are going back to shelters and they don't know what to do. Even vets are getting very, very stressed out. And did you know that vets are committing suicide at an alarming rate? I think we're going to do a story on that, because that is very sad. I feel like it's not really talked about. Like, I knew accountants killed themselves because, it's accounting. That's what I heard. I heard that a long time ago. But vets, I wonder if it's because of euthanasia. I wonder if it's not being able to save. It's like being a doctor. It's not like being a doctor. You're a doctor for animals, right? But I get the feeling that maybe doctors deal with maybe a little less death. Perhaps vets deal with a whole lot of death on a very rapid basis, right? And it's probably hard. And plus, I also think that when you're a vet, you probably see the pets quite regularly for like shots and stuff or whatever. And then eventually they're gone, right? You get a little bit more time with a human being. You can have them for 20, 30 years as a patient. But with pets, sometimes it's just a few years, right? Imagine the bunny rabbits, or you've got a pet rat. They're going quickly. So, I think we're going to be doing a story on that. We're going to probably interview some experts in that domain to find out what is going on with veterinarians, that they are committing suicide at an alarming rate. So that's something that we really need to talk about. I'm really glad I did this, because I really had some things on my mind that I don't get to talk about on the show because it's very limited. I mean, we do like an 8 to 10 minute show, really. Because, at the end of the day, they're not paying me. So you're not getting me for more than 8 minutes, okay? So this is me doing something that I want to do. I want to do this, so it's different, right? It's different. Not that I didn't want to do the other thing. I'm just saying. Did that story already? This is sweet. All right. So there's a story on the Daily Mail, and you know how I feel about the Daily Mail. I have a little bit of a rivalry with Piers Morgan. We know each other professionally, and he's a special lad, isn't he? All right, so I've queued the video. We can maybe get to know better with this. I swear to God, I'll be a little bit more prepared. Yeah, but I'll be more knowledgeable of what I'm doing. What am I doing? This ain't right. Okay, so I was saying, I've got a little bit of history with Piers Morgan. As you know, he's the owner of the Daily News, isn't he? It's a bit controversial. He was in The Apprentice, the original Apprentice with like Omarosa. I mean, they had like the hugest rivalry ever, but they have like the best comebacks and attacks and impressive. So bloody impressive. I can find them. You know what? I'm going to look for them. I'm going to play this first, and I'm going to look for the Omarosa and Piers Morgan Johns, because I don't think people have ever heard. Gosh, stuff that goes on between people. People don't really know Piers Morgan from before, but I do. I do. Yeah, he's really close to Sharon Osbourne. And what I find interesting, to be honest, is that he's friends with Sharon Osbourne. They're close, and Sharon Osbourne, if you go to the Johnny Depp side, the reason I'm saying this is because Piers Morgan went out of his way to be an ass when it came to Johnny Depp, right? And he had done an interview with Sharon Osbourne. I know I'm veering off the topic, but I really want to get this off my chest. And him and Sharon Osbourne did an interview together and about what she thought about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, she, of course, advocated for Johnny Depp. She's a really nice person. He's just a personable person, whatever. And Piers Morgan was like, yeah, but he's a bit of a, isn't he an addict? Isn't he all fucked up and weird and da-da? Really? Yeah, Piers. That was Piers. But you know what's interesting? I've noticed, because I follow. Yeah, I do. I follow Johnny Depp. The Firm News follows Johnny Depp. Okay? And so this is not for true, from what I understand. Anyway, so Johnny Depp follows Sharon Osbourne. So they're friends. And so it leads me to this question. Because in the beginning, he was just curmudgeon, meanie about Johnny Depp and just was all over Amber Heard, poor Amber Heard, blah, 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 right? And then the interview happens with Sharon Osbourne and he tries to, chime in or whatever. And then that has changed his tune. What? They still decided to put out some of the salacious things that were not admitted in court. Why? Because they were all hearsay. Yeah, there's a reason why certain things were not admitted, not because they were truth, it's because they were inadmissible, because they were hearsay. So when somebody says to the psychologist or psychiatrist, blah, 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 blah happened, it's not necessarily a fact, is it? It's a narrative. Anyway, what are we talking about? A heartwarming moment. Dog pushes owner's wheelchair across the street. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, qué bonito. Oh, no. Oh, look, he's looking at it. Oh, he's looking for a sign of what to do next. Oh my gosh, they're going to cross the street. I mean, that's what it says. It says across the street, so I'm waiting. We're going to go across the street. Look, 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 look. Oh my gosh, he's pushing him. Wow, he waited. Oh, look at that. That's marvelous, right? How do you say it? Okay, there was another. Oof. Okay, that was beautiful. Wow. So, oh wow, love that. That was beautiful to see. Another from Daily Mail. Oh, but it's sad. I didn't want to do this story, but I see why we didn't do it on FRR, because it really deserves the attention that it ought to get, because it's a really sad story, but I think it's an important story that ought to be told. yeah, it's an important story that ought to be told. So from what I understand, a woman and her, a child, a 5-year-old child, died in a fire. And guess what caused the fire? So the little girl's name is Erica Williams, and the mother's name is Shanice Anderson, and the father's name is Eric Williams, who wound up in hospital with severe burns. And but his daughter and his partner did not make it. And this happened in New York on East 129th Street. So let's share this footage, which is really sad. But I think it's important because I don't think we obviously know the dangers that lurk in our home. And I think it's an important subject to sort of attack, for lack of a better word. So here she is, and she's so beautiful, so sad. Yeah, so the story is, so it's not just a young girl and the mother, 3 dogs, all right? 3 dogs, young girl, mother, and the father is hospitalized. He's in hospital and severe burns. And when he fled the apartment, he was unable to re-enter to assist his loved ones because you know they say you have to save yourself. And then you're hoping everybody comes out, and they did not come out. The whole family did not come out. So he was the only one that came out. So 3 dogs, his partner and his daughter are dead. And here's what happened. It was sparked by an exploding battery of an electric bike. Yeah? Sad. This is the picture of Shanice Anderson. Right? Beautiful woman. Sad. Here's a picture of the child when she was a baby. That's Erica Williams. And so there's a video. Let's play the video. Let's see. Okay, so there's no sound that I can see coming from this. So there's a fire truck there. Clearly at the window of their building, of their apartment, probably, just taking out the fire. Those pictures are explosions inside. It's explosions. I'm thinking, something is lighting up in there. Look at all the trucks and police department. Oh, that's sad. It's really sad. So just to say, just as remember e-cigarettes were exploding, so are e-bikes. And that's a little bit disconcerting, isn't it? Because it's not something you expected. I'm not sure it's necessarily a warning attached to it. I don't think people really know that that's what's going on. So, yeah, it's just a sad sort of business. Yeah, so sometimes things aren't always nothing to do. It's a lot of sad news. But I think I talked to you guys about Piers Morgan, who owns this publication, UK Daily News or Daily News. So Daily Mail, sorry, UK Daily Mail or Daily Mail. So what they do is they have like an Australian version, they have the US version. So let's see, do they have any other versions? I mean, so he's done pretty well for himself. I'm very proud of him. You know, I'm just, oh, so now the audio wants to start. Sorry, the audio wasn't starting when I was playing it, but it just did now. But I always want to say is that, so they've got Australia, they've got US, and that's what they sort of cover. And as I was saying, Piers got a start in, he got a start on The Apprentice. I feel like he was a household name before then, probably in England. We just didn't know who he was or what he was up to before that. I don't quite know. You know, I know he did Larry King Live at some point. That didn't work out. I'm not surprised. You know, he's a bit of a. He's not charismatic. I think that's what it is. He's not really charismatic. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I think his business is really solid. He's got a solid business. He's got a solid empire, and he's always been involved in news. So it's really interesting that he went to The Apprentice and worked for Donald Trump. And funny enough, in the beginning, he was for Donald Trump, and then he started dumping on Donald Trump. No loyalty to this man. This man has no loyalty whatsoever. I'm not dumping him either. I'm really not. He's a colleague. You know, I'm just, you know, starting fresh, which I think a lot of people do, and I think he's done it quite a few times. And so, obviously, I'm just in the beginning stages of my comeback, yes. And I really want to see if I could find a Piers Morgan, like Omarosa fight, so that you guys can see what he was like before. I don't think anybody believes it. He was quite a character. Let me look up Piers Morgan and Omarosa. Well, there's Piers Morgan gets owned. We love that. Okay, that's on his show. It's mainly on his show. I want to show you with Omarosa. Hold on. Let's see if I have it in the lineup. Oh, he gets owned quite a bit by quite a few people. Oh gosh. Quite a few people, in fact. I'm not surprised. Piers Morgan and Omarosa. Omarosa. Uh-huh. He called her the most abusive, blah, 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 but he's not like an innocent type either. So let's wait back to it. So let's see if this is going to play. So this is from Hollywood Junket. You know what? Sorry. Let's put Piers Morgan versus Omarosa. The Apprentice. The Apprentice. I just want to get the quips. You know what I mean? Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is the one where she says, I think she says something like your mama. Sorry. This is from Tick Black on YouTube. I'm going to wait for the ads to go by. And then I'm going to share the screen. So people who've never seen Piers Morgan like this before, here's your chance. I'm not hearing anything. There's no reason I'm not hearing anything. Ah, okay. So let me go into my language. Okay. And then so that I can just, all right. Okay, this is great. So they were on the same team. Oh, look at Piers. Look at him. Oh my God, Omarosa. She does not play. He called her a tramp. He called her a tramp. Oh my God, she got in his face. She got in his face. Yeah, that's a bit below the belt for sure. And that's a boxer. Is he a boxer? she got her rocks off on that argument. Like she got her life. She definitely got her life from that argument. She was like, oh, that was so refreshing. For people who don't know, okay, Omarosa, Omarosa, Omarosa is like the quintessential villain of reality TV. No one has come close since. No one will ever come close because not only is she extremely intelligent, she has the mouth of, I don't know, it's like she's a gutter queen. She can go really, 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 really low. But you're so acutely aware of how intelligent she is. And so therefore it's like, you know, she's not going gutter because she doesn't have the words to express herself. She's going gutter because she knows that that's what's going to get your goat. She's absolutely the most calculated, most clever reality TV villain that ever was. That ever was. And she owned Piers. So this was, I think, their first encounter. Then there was a second, I think it was like a reunion or like an all-star kind of situation, which is bloody fascinating. The all-star situation. Let's see what he says about her. Maybe he says that there was another confrontation with her, but I'm not sure I'm seeing it anywhere else. Yeah, it's not showing up, but ooh, okay, so there's USA Celebrity Apprentice, Piers Morgan, funny moments. It's less time ago. Not sure if that's it though. I'm not sure. Like the one I saw, she was like, "Your mama." I like died inside. I was deceased. Your mama. I was like, what? It was great. It was great. It was great. It was lovely. Hold on, let's see if we can see it. You know, she was married to the Green Mile guy. No, she was fiancée. She was fiancée with him and he died before they got married. It's very, very sad. She tried to save him, in fact. Very, very sad. So let's see. Here's Morgan and Omarosa. I don't know. I mean, there's Piers Morgan funny moments. Let's see if that delivers. Oh, the quality is crap. Well, let's check it out. Anyhow, let's see what's going on with that. Yeah, the quality is like crapola. But let's see if there's anything. Is it still just? I don't understand. Why is the sound not on? Let's check this out. Oh, okay, let's see. What? It's not supposed to be off. Okay, we're not hearing anything. Well, I'm not happy with that. I'm not hearing anything. What's going on? No. Stop sharing. Let's see if it'll play on its own. It's not even playing on its own. Oh. All right. So it defaults to. Okay, lovelies. Bob's your uncle. We're coming. All right, I've got it. I've handled it. Got him taken care of. I'm not my husband. I finish what I start. That's it. That's not the one when she says, "Your mama." That's the one I want to see. That's the one I want to see. Damn it. I want to see her say, "Your mama." There's something about when a woman says, "Your mama." I think in Brooklyn they say, "Your mother." Your mother. Your mother. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. All right, well, that's pretty much all we've got on that. It was the All-Star. But Omarosa. So we're not seeing. But she's definitely formidable opponent. She's not something to mess with. And it was pretty sad that, you know, the rest of her career did not flourish as it should have. It should have. I mean, so that's the sad part. I'm not sure where she is now, what she's doing, or whatever. But I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking to see if I can find the Piers Morgan and Omarosa. Yeah, and he was such a sore loser too. He literally said that he let her win. What did he say? He said Piers Morgan claims Omarosa offered him sex if he would let her win on Celebrity Attack. In what world? In what world would a woman offer this man sex? Like, seriously, in what world? I think he just said that to get a headline, because he said it like 4 years ago. I think while Trump was in office, I think to sort of, make waves or whatever. So he's just a sad character when it comes to things like that. You know what? And Piers Morgan, seriously, has a little bug of his little bum when it comes to Meghan Markle, not my namesake, but I'm Meghan, and she's American, obviously. Yeah, so he's got a bug. I've always said that he's got an obsession from the moment that she, sort of, what can you say? The moment that she said no to him, because they had a little bit of a friendship, him and Meghan. They had a little bit of friendship. It was like a texting friendship. She'd said, I think they met somewhere once. They met at a pub after. I think she said she wanted to be introduced to, I think, British society or people in Britain to sort of get an idea of what's going on there, because I get the feeling that she was looking for a husband. I'm not sure she said that, but she definitely said she wanted to be introduced to more people in London, to know many people, whatever. And he said, oh, absolutely, I'll introduce you around, blah, 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 blah. Then, literally, after their meeting, I think like a day or so, maybe a week, whatever, she meets Harry. And they go on their first date, and boom, she blocks Piers Morgan and everybody else. And he was so about it. He was so about it. And he never stopped talking about it. I mean, from there on, all we heard was Meghan this, Meghan that, Harry this, Harry that. It was non-stop with Piers Morgan. I mean, when he's got a bone, he doesn't let go. He does not let go. He does not. I'm surprised he let go of the Johnny Depp bone. He really didn't let go. He sort of let it. So he put it down and then was like staring at it. He was like, I'll pick it up again. And then he picks it up again as soon as it was something salacious. So that's that. So that's my little story. That's my little bit. I get to sort of talk about some of the news that we haven't heard. I think that's about it. I do want to touch on maybe, I don't want to get too long here, too long indeed. This is much longer than I anticipated. There might be another story. Hold on. There might be something. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened today. We should have started with that. Remember what I was talking about? The whole people letting go of their pets early. Letting go of their pets, and well, they've got a reason for it. Here on CNBC, they're saying it's, this is really sad. All right, let me share this one for you guys. Okay. Okay, this is an ad. Okay. Well, this is CNBC. It's so sad. That's what I was talking about. It's been 3 legs. I told you. So that but yeah, that's what I was talking about before. These are people that have had their pets for a very long time, having to surrender their pets because housing, I mean, food, ridiculously high. I mean, every time I do my Whole Foods delivery, I'm shocked at how high it is. Seriously. I don't even know why we do it. Honestly, nobody wants to go out. We wait in line and buy stuff and then wait in line. You know what it is? We've gotten so used to during the pandemic of ordering our groceries and not going to the grocery store. But it's like now it's like, ooh, who wants to go and pick your food and then wait in line just to pay for it, even if it's like self-paying, self-service, you still have to wait in line, which is such a waste, really. It's like, why am I waiting in line for something that I have to do myself? So there you have it, everyone. And Meghan, and thank you for joining me for my first after show. It was a little bit longer because I was trying to figure out how to do things. So I think next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the stories lined up of time. Obviously, we would start with the newer stories, and of course, it's a little bit more serious because the news deals more with like some serious, but more raw stuff. So not most of the rough stuff. So I did cover just now like some rough stuff, and you know, Piers Morgan and Omarosa. That should be fun. Well, that was fun. And so yeah, so hopefully next time I can schedule a live so people actually know to join and we can have some conversations. What? Well, fun. Thank you.